Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining here today for the final talk. I know it's hard by the end of the day, but I really appreciate it. So it's a pleasure to be here today. And my name is Natalia, and I'm a senior process intelligence consultant at T1A. And today I would like to talk with you about the concept of value in implementation based on my experience in process mining projects. Let me start by sharing a bit about my story. I graduated with a major in economics, and during my first internship at sales department, it was my first experience where I worked with the data, and I loved it. This passion for data led me to work as a system analyst for 4 years in a consulting company. So my work was around data warehousing, data, and more data. So over a year ago, my career path introduced me to a fascinating technology called process mining. I was really thrilled to join process intelligence team at T1A and start working on process mining projects. Yeah, come in, join, and start working on process mining projects. But along with this transition, I uncovered a big insight for me. During my work, I always focused on technical achievements. You know, like ensuring the data quality, optimizing SQL scripts, delivering data marts faster for business, without fully understanding the business impact of my work. And this idea has really shifted my approach, because I realized that, yes, I can describe why projects matter for business in general terms, but I lacked the ability to fully understand the financial impact of it. So let me ask you this. How do you define success when you're implementing a solution? Is it meeting deadlines and staying within budgets, or is it delivering sustainable change that measurably impact your business? In data projects, as in my earlier career experience, we always focus on technical parts. So we deliver excellent dashboards or cool data models. But the question, how does this improve the business, is frequently left unexplored. Yes, people usually talk about transparency or speed, but how much speed? What's the financial impact of it? When we truly understand what value we deliver, we not only communicate it better to our stakeholders, but also we make smarter decisions. Because you know that some actions and tasks generate more value than others. And when we quantify this, we understand where we need to focus on. But before continue the topic with the value, I would like to talk a bit about more process mining. So how many of you knows what process mining is? Raise your hands. Yeah, that's actually quite a lot. I'm really surprised. That's great. Because sometimes you see the empty audience. But for you who don't know, I will tell a bit more and you will know new words from this conference. Process mining is a data-driven approach that when we extract the digital footprints from the source, so-called event logs, and upload it to process mining tool, and to analyze and improve our process. When you're thinking about process mining, think about MRI for your business processes. It scans how things truly work, identifying inefficiencies and variations of the process. People usually think that their process is really simple and streamlined on paper, like on the left, if you see anything, to be honest. But the reality is far more complex. And the process usually looks like on the right, it's like spaghetti diagram. And process mining reveals this complexity. and help you to identify points for improvement. Let me be more concrete. We had a project with a big retail company that managed around 20,000 orders per month. And this organization faced inefficiencies in their order picking process. By analyzing event logs from their warehouse management system, we identified that 25% of orders have suboptimal route. Suboptimal route meant that instead of following expected straightforward path, pickers retake their steps and created reworks. So basically spend more resources. Digging deeper, we found that 15% of these orders originated from article shortage. And our recommendation was to automate prioritization for articles that forecasted to have shortage. This improvement translated into 121,000 euros per year for one warehouse. By quantifying this, we demonstrated to our client why he should invest in this change. So it was really quick and simple decision for him. But you may ask now, great talk, fun, how do I approach this for my projects? To speak about value, from high level, it consists of two parts. The one big part, I would describe that you need to start by defining relevant metrics for your business, and then convert them, the results of improvement of them, into monetary value. For example, you have orders volume. Your solution increased the order volume in your organization, and now you can calculate how this boost reflected in your revenue. Another example would be, for example, for data science. For example, we have model accuracy metric, and the solution helped to increase the accuracy. And by increasing the accuracy of the model, we reduced the number of errors that we had. So now we can calculate the labor costs that we spent before when we had this problem. But let me also describe the logic that we had in our order picking process, how we calculated value there. It's really simple when you have FTE involved to calculate monetary value. You just take the cost of FTE and multiply it by hours saved. Sounds really simple, but in reality, harder to be done. So the hours saved, we calculated is like, we had expected number of suboptimal routes, and we calculated the number of suboptimal routes that we had after implementation. And we multiplied this number by 5 minutes. It's our approximation how much time we save by reducing the number of suboptimal routes. And we received 252 hours per month for one warehouse. And then we multiply this number by cost of FTE. This is how we received our 121,000 euros per month, per year, sorry, for one warehouse. What I want to take you away from this slide, not the numbers and formula. I want you to get the general idea that any automation or optimization project, as a result, have saving resources. If you have saved resources, you can turn them into monetary value. But let's step back and talk about the value broadly. So value creation happens in 3 phases. Value estimation, it's the first stage where you assess the potential value of your improvement. You decide on this stage, is it worth to pursue your implementation and solution? Second stage, value realization, is where you take action and actually materialize the value. And third stage, value recognition. It is a crucial stage because during this stage, you enable business to see and measure the value itself. And during this stage, it's really important to implement dashboards or use other tools to monitor value over time. Because value not just happens, it accumulates over time. Think about this framework that now we're not only solving the problems, but we're actually now communicating them to our business stakeholders. So when we talk about value, what do we mean by value? Value, first that comes to mind is money, of course. So money is our ultimate business language. So value can be direct cash or working capital. These types of value are usually measured in euros or dollars or whatever currency you like, and they achieved through increased sales or, for example, early cash collection. But value can come in different forms. For example, it can be productivity. As I said, it can be through increased automation. You save some FTEs. But as I showed in the previous example, it can be easily converted to money. But sometimes life is harder. Sometimes value is not tangible. For example, you implement something like increase the information available in your organization. Then value would be in the form of transparency for your organization. But don't just say, we increase transparency. It means nothing. Try to quantify this. Try to say, what's the percentage of business scope you covered by your solution. It will help business to understand what's the number, what happened with your solution. So this is my favorite part, is where I give you advice, how, based on my experience, how do you approach the value? So what's the best experiences? First of all, make your solution business relevant. Ask yourself these 3 questions when you implement something. First of all is, what value does it drive? What value will it bring? And how does it serve corporate strategy? By really thinking on these questions and answer them fully and truthfully, you understand the business relevance of your implementation, and the business will say thank you to you, because now you're creating business relevant solution. They're happy. Second advice would be communication. User adoption is a key to business success. It's fun to create new things, but it's not fun when nobody uses them. So communicate your success, showcasing the impact that implementation will bring. And third is monitor and report value. As I mentioned, it's a really important step to monitor it over time and see if your value, for example, decline, maybe you need to change something in your implementation. When you change something, you will create new value. So it creates this cycle of continuous improvement for your organization. Now, the fun part for cool stories, anti-patterns that I would advise you to avoid. First of all is focus heavily on business metrics. I had a client that had 8,000 dashboards in their organization with 10,000 people in it. So from technical perspective, they're cool, they're really productive in doing these dashboards. But does it serve the business? Probably no. So avoid this trap. Second of all is missing current business context. I also knew a group of consultants that did proof of value project and calculated that by implementing this project, they would save 14 FTEs for department that had only 10 people in it. Needless to say that client wasn't happy with the result when he saw that he needs to reduce the department. And third thing is overpromising. I see it a lot with the vendors and new cool technologies when we overhype things. When we promise something like million numbers, like millions euros saved per year, but I think we only hurt ourselves when we overpromise something. Because when expectations are not met for the business, next time you will come up with new technology, business won't trust you. They won't be on board with you when you come with the new ideas. So be realistic with your implementations and with your value calculations. As final thoughts, as I reflect on the journey of calculating value, I realized that value assessment is crucial and not only like essential for any organization. And let's implement this approach not only in process mining project, but anywhere, because in the end, what matters is delivering value for the business. So thank you very much for listening. So if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you, Natalia. And as she already said, do any of you have any questions about her presentation? Okay, can we get first over there and then over there?
Thank you, Natalia, for the presentation. It was clear and interesting. First of all, which solution do you use in your work?
Mm-hmm.
I understood that you don't develop or you don't have your own process mining tool. Am I right?
Yes, we're integrators, so we are solution agnostic.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
But for me personally, I work with Celonis.
With Celonis?
Yeah, I work with Celonis.
Do you also recommend a solution, whatever it is, or you just work with Celonis explicitly?
I work with Celonis because it's my client's solution, and I basically help them to develop to develop process mining in their organization, but using their existing tool. I didn't advise anything. I just came, and it's already been there. So
and sell Celonis. Yeah, a kind of, Okay, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for the question.
Over here.
Okay, so I have two questions. First is, what is the biggest obstacle you see that is stopping customers from using process mining?
Mm-hmm.
And the second, from your experience, how long does it take from the value estimation to value recognition or value realization at least?
Mm-hmm. So I will start with answering the last question. So usually as consultants group, we come with POV, proof of value, and show the clients like immediate, the results that can be achieved through this. POV is usually 2 months, and to show first results. But of course, it depends on situation, because for example, for this order picking project that I showed to you, when you implement this article prioritization, value didn't happen right away. And to be honest, clients was like, where the value? So where it is? And we had to wait for like a month or something to really show it on the dashboard that it's increasing and accumulating. So it took 3 months to for the clients actually to see the results. But usually, in 2 months, we provide this quick analysis and improvements, and then it depends on client if he implements the recommendations that we have. So, but it really depends on situation, I would say. What stops the clients to use process mining? To be honest, from my experience, I would say that not everyone understands the technology and how they benefit from it. I think it's our sales problem that we don't pitch it that well as consultants. But and it's new and it costs money. And in current economics, departments are really scared to implement new external consultant solutions, especially if it's not so hyped as AI. So I think current economic situation and poor business use cases that we sell, the marketing part. I think that's 2 reasons, if it answers your question.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Do we have any more potential questions? Again, I always say this. If not, I think Natalia will still be out in the hallway. If you think of something, you can always approach any of our speakers and ask them directly the questions that you might not have here. So, thank you, Natalia.
Thank you.
This is...
Thank you.
And this is a little appreciation from us.
Thank you.